What is gluten and what does it mean to be gluten-free? Gluten is a group of proteins stored together in the starch in the endosperm of various grains. And gluten helps foods maintain their shape, acting as a glue that holds the food together.
I think it's interesting to note where gluten is actually found, particularly in wheat, rye, barley, and some other foods it can be hidden as well. We'll get to those in a minute.
There are lots of foods that are naturally gluten-free. Think about fruit, vegetables, meat and poultry, fish and seafood, dairy foods, as well as beans, legumes, and nuts.
There's even some naturally gluten-free snacks out there that are wonderful to choose. But what to be mindful of is to pick some of the other options. Look for foods that do not have some of the common sources, like breads, crackers, cereal, pasta, and even some baked goods will have gluten in them. So you're looking for picking the options, as we mentioned, that are naturally gluten free.
So, which sources may have gluten in them that you're not so familiar with? Well, your processed meats, various seasonings, salad dressings, sauces like soy sauce,
Mhm.
soup stock, granola bars, chips, candy, toothpaste,
Mm.
medication, supplements, and even Play Doh may have gluten in them and you may not be aware of it. You need to read the labels to make sure that you're getting a product that is gluten free and it should be labeled accordingly.
As you're shopping and you're looking for some gluten free options, always read the list of ingredients. It will tell you some of those keywords to keep in mind. Look for gluten free right on the front of the package. That's probably a big marketing technique that they'll use, but then always read the ingredient list as well. There are things about the labeling laws that I would refer to so that you can make sure you're aware of how and understanding what they are in order to know whether an item is gluten free. And there's even some apps on your phones these days that you are able to use, but make sure that they are accurate and they're coming from a reputable source. There's some things you can do for gluten-free cooking as well. Maybe try, thickening items that don't use gluten if you need a sauce or something like that. Mix cornstarch first with your water and then add it to the item. That way, it will help kind of break down the cornstarch and help thicken the item instead of using flour for a thickening agent. Making breading out of a dried sandwich bread, but making sure it's a gluten free bread or cracker. You can often grind them up and use them as breading or use them in, soups and casseroles and things like that to help thicken items as well.
When you're baking and trying to be gluten free, then you need to consider the nutritional value that is in the foods you're using. The amount of moisture will affect the structure of the muffins or whatever it is you're making, and you still would have fat in that product as well as something for flavoring. I think what's important to remember here, though, about gluten, Rachel, is that gluten free is not considered a diet that people would use to lose weight. Gluten free is something that you must do if you have issues, gut issues, where you have problems with digestion of some foods. So it's not a go to diet,
Right.
it's a way of life for people that have allergies to
Mhm.
various
Mhm.
foods.